With International Men's Day rapidly arriving on Tuesday the 19th of November, I thought I would recommend you a fragrance that's absolutely blown me away recently when I just tried the sample. Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back to Hops and Whiffs. Now this is more of an impromptu video that I made since I went to my local boot store and tried a sample of something that I knew was coming out and that I'd seen reviews all over the internet, and I decided to go and try it for myself, as I'd always implore you to do before you buy a fragrance, and to see if it's any good. So we look at one of the most famous fragrance lines of all time, Hugo Boss, with their line of Boss Bottled. Now, since the line began, there have been many flankers. I'll put a few of them up on the screen now, but some have been fantastic, some have been not so good, some have been all right, and some I would recommend. Now, it got to a point in the Hugo Boss flanker when I started to get a bit bored. I mean, I've got a couple of them myself. I've had quite a few of them in as time has gone by, but I've kind of like kept hold of these two, which are kind of a couple of my favourites. Hugo Boss Unlimited, great for summer, and Hugo Boss, this is a limited edition bottle, but this is the Eau de Parfum. Really nice take on the original Boss Bottle DNA. But up until last year, when Boss Bottle bought out their Elixir fragrance, I thought the line was getting a bit boring, a bit dated, and then the Elixir came out and it was like a breath of fresh air. It was fantastic, and I didn't think they could beat that. I thought that was a good solid place to finish the line. Hugo Boss had different ideas altogether, and not so long ago they brought out a brand new fragrance which kind of had me very kind of excited, but then kind of like pessimistic in the fact of, could they beat the Elixir? Now they've bought out, and before I went and tried it, I saw the hype around this fragrance online was heavy. It was good. Many people, many top fragrance reviewers have reviewed it, and they left me thinking, I've got to try this fragrance, I've got to go and try it. But also left me thinking, I can't like it as much as they say I'm going to like it. Can I? Now, I look at the top notes, and it has incense and leather. Now, I'm not a leather fan per se. I don't get on with these leather fragrances myself. A lot of people like them, some don't like them. Kind of like Marmite in taste, whether you like or you don't like the leather fragrances. Mid notes were patchouli and myrrh, and base notes of Davana and cedarwood. So quite simplistic, quite plain, and I didn't really know from the note breakdown whether I'd like them as much as the reviews said I would. So cedarwood. So I'm talking about the brand new 2024 release of Hugo Boss Bottled Absolu. So I went to my local boot store and asked the lady on the counter, could I try some on my skin? Always remember, try it on your skin. The tester strips are great, but everybody's skin is totally different. So I would always advise you, if you are trying out a fragrance, please do spray it on your hand or on your arm, let it settle. It's kind of like live with it for the next half of the day just to see how it performs, if you like it, if you still like it as much as you did on the opening. So I did that. The lady in boots, really kind lady, was a little bit guarded in spraying it on my hand. She only gave me one short, sharp spray on the hand. And I kind of like held my hand there, hoping she put another one on there, but she didn't. So the opening for it, just to give you a bit of my opinion, definitely straight away, smokiness, the incense and the leather was definitely apparent. Now, as I said before, I don't like leather fragrances, but this was a soft leather. It wasn't very heavy. It kind of like very nice and soft on top, which kind of appealed to me a little bit more than I've ever found before in a leather fragrance. It then started to dry down a bit, and I got the myrrh through, kind of like a sweet myrrh, kind of like made it solid around the bottom, or the middle, sorry, and smoothed it out really, really nicely with the patchouli. Fantastic. And then you started to get the woodiness of it. So the cedar wood really started to boost through, which is kind of like a sweet woody smell. And it was very, very nice, really nice. And then something weird happened. As it dried down, I could not stop smelling it. It was intoxicating, it smelled sexy, it smelled kind of sweeter than I thought it would. And I was getting some kind of like vanilla-y sweetness at the end of it, which isn't even in the note breakdown, so I don't know where that came from. But it was definitely like an appealing, sweeter smell. Very, very thick and very, very powerful. I kept on smelling it without lifting my hand up to my nose. So the projection was very good, and that was for at least 3+ hours. And I'm not kidding you, I sprayed this on, or this lady sprayed the one spray, that's all it was, at around about 12 o'clock. And at 9 o'clock, between 9 and half 9, I could still smell it on my skin. It was fantastic, honestly. And that's why I had to talk to you guys about this, because I don't normally like leather fragrances, so I would have been put off if I'd have just read the note breakdown. But I tried it, I liked it, I loved it, and I think it's got to be, for me, the release of 2024. Hugo Boss have excelled themselves. It was fantastic, projection was amazing, the longevity of the product was fantastic, and it's going to be hands down my favourite Hugo Boss fragrance. So much so, I've put it straight on my Christmas list, so hopefully Santa brings me that under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning. And that's why, with International Men's Day coming up, I thought I'd give the other men out there a gift of a recommendation to put on your Christmas list, because I can guarantee that the majority of you out there will absolutely fall in love with this fragrance. Please, please, please try it for yourself, and then put in the comments below what you think of it. Have you tried it already? Do you think it's fantastic as I do? Please, as before, please do like the video, do subscribe, do share this video, and tell your friends about Hops and Whiffs. And I'll come back to you soon with some more future content. Take care. Have a good one.